Okay, so I wanted to talk more about, hello, I didn't say hello, guys. I wanted to talk more about the Google shenanigans that are going on that Project Veritas uncovered. Of course, nobody's really surprised, but it's great to have them admitting it, so we can actually get somewhere. I was watching On the Marks commentary on it, and he was saying that he thinks it's gonna be like there's gonna be a big stir like there is now, but then nothing's really gonna come of it. I hope he's wrong. I can see where he would think that. I hope he's wrong, but I think that this isn't gonna be the thing. I will agree that I think that this is just it's just another pebble, right? They're so huge, so we just need there's this huge glass castle. And if you throw one rock at it, it's not going to fall. It might make a break through a part of the castle or shatter part of the castle. Shit. But it's not going to make the whole castle crumble down. And what we want to do is we want to make this castle crumble down. So I think it's just a rock. And I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that's going to come out. But you guys, if you think about it, Google owns everything. So, I mean, Google Voice, Google Voice, the search engine. They think they own some other search engines as well. They have Google Maps, Google Earth. What else do they have? YouTube. I mean, everything, right? So they have access to all of our personal data, whether we're talking on a phone or, we're going somewhere, they can track us, And my friend, April and I, co-founder of the channel, we were actually on a network when we had our podcast, and our producer, I don't remember if we interviewed her or not. I'm saying we interviewed her, but we were talking to her. And she actually worked in the tech company, and she kind of woke up and became a truther because she realized what she was creating. She realized that she was being used as a useful idiot she's not an idiot, she's a very smart lady. And a lot of these people are smart people. They're smart, as somebody said in the comments, I'm gonna take this, but they're so right. They're smart enough to do the work, but not smart enough to question it. And this lady woke up and she started to question it. She's like, hey, I'm building a grid to enslave humanity. And that's what Google is. It's a big old grid, right? I mean, think about it. All these movies you've seen, we have these cars that, are hooked into computers. They want to have self-driving cars. And some people are fucking down with that. It's cars that they can start and stop. If you post the wrong thing on Facebook, they can just turn your car off and tell you you can't drive anywhere, you can't go anywhere, you can't fly out the country. This is some bullshit, right? So you have they have access to that. They have your voicemails. You think that they're just gonna let you use their free or cheap voice service and not want anything in return for that? You think that they're not collecting data, right? You don't think they're gonna you think all of your conversations just disappear after you finish talking on the phone? You don't think that somebody doesn't like you, but they can't retrieve that information and use it against you? I mean, come on, guys, wake up, come on, seriously. I don't really know, what it is going to take. It's going to take a lot of stuff, but I think that, I like to think that they're not going to get away with it. I like to think that they almost got away with it, but they're not going to get away with it. But the thing is, we just have to be vigilant. We have to understand what we are a part of, right? They're just taking, right now, they don't like what I'm saying, so they're just taking away my subscribers. Nobody's really unsubscribing. I probably had a couple people to unsubscribe over some of the anti-vax videos, and other than that, though, but no, they're just going every day, right? But I'm getting views for my videos. Nobody's writing me and complaining. They're taking away a sub. Here a sub, there a sub, everywhere a sub. Just, but I'm not even worried about my subs anymore. I'm not even gonna look at the sub count. I'm just gonna blow up what I want, and they can go suck it if they don't like it. So, but that's how they control people too, because there are people that are so hooked on just having a certain amount amount of subscribers, and if they see their subscribers diminishing, then they'll be like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't talk about certain things, and I don't want my subscribers to go, and so what, so what, right? I as long as some of the information I'm getting out is getting to some people that want to hear it, and I can help some people, and I can help inform some people like people have done for me, I'm just playing it forward, then I'm good with that. So I don't know, it was really good to see Dan Crenshaw grill the Google exec, but they're so savvy, they know what to say, they know how to play semantics and run around in circles and stuff. It really might have to come down to a physical war to take these motherfuckers down, because they're just getting too bold and too brazen. And I hate to be like I try and be as optimistic as I can, but if they steal this election, there's gonna be a fucking war. There'll probably be a war anyway, but I know like that's just gonna be the last straw, because I know some people, including myself, they're already trying to get people to tell people what to think. They're already putting tags on videos when you talk about Sandy Hook or 9/11 or chemtrails or vaccines, for children or people that don't really know, that are just getting into this stuff. They'll be like, oh look, there's a Wikipedia link to tell me what to think, because I can't think for myself, so I have to click on this link to help me think. Like they're constantly doing that stuff. They're putting people in boxes, so you're basically being reinforced with the same information. They're spreading lies about people. They're manipulating search results, and on top of that, they have all this physical power of, like the internet, your like I said, Google Voice, your maps. They can track where you go. This is like a fucking horror movie, I swear to God. But, there's some people that are still like, oh, it's amazing. Oh my God. Like when I worked for Lyft, and I would drive some of these motherfuckers around, I drive this one guy around that was just like, oh yeah, I believe in universal income. Because, then people are just going to be homeless. I'm just like, are you serious? Then you know what? If they don't want to get off their ass and work, then they're going to be homeless. Too bad. Now, I'm not dogging on homeless people. I have family members that are homeless and stuff. People are homeless for different reasons, so it's not about money, basically. So a lot of these ignorant people that just think that people are homeless because they don't have enough money, they're retarded. It's way more complex than that. It's different for each person. But anyway, he worked for the tech company, and they just have this fucking delusion that like we're gonna live in like Star Trek land, that we'll just give people money and then we'll fix the hunger problem and we'll fix everything and we'll just live in this bubble, and people will tell us how to drive. You don't have to worry about accidents because the self-driving cars are gonna handle everything, and we're gonna give people vaccines because it's gonna eliminate all diseases. They're so twisted. They don't know what the fuck. They have no clue. Right? This guy was like, yeah, some people just want to play video games, and what could we do about that? Yeah, we can make them homeless if they don't want to fucking like buy work their ass off. How about that? They have to suffer consequences for whatever you do in life, whatever decision you make, good or bad. There are consequences. So if you're just that type of person that just, and I remember the person saying, some people just want to eat junk food. And I'm like, yeah, but they can do that. It's their choice. But I'm not supporting that. I'm not paying for that shit, because me that's working is paying for that shit. So if they want to do that, they need to get their ass off the couch and pay for that themselves. They can do all that. They can play video games. They can eat those radioactive Cheetos. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But I'm not paying for it, okay? They have to do that, right? So I'm not for universal income. And somebody was saying we tax all these companies that, he was saying that we'll tax all these companies for the and make them give everybody $1,000 a month. I'm just like, are you serious, dude? So we're gonna trust we're gonna trust Google and Apple to give us money with no strings attached? Really? Seriously? like, I don't, like, are you 10 or like 40? Because this dude was like 35, 40, and he was talking like this. I'm like, are you for real? Wow. But a lot of these people that work in these fucking tech companies, they have that mentality that they're like, you know, if you guys, shit. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Okay, so I just saw this movie. I think I mentioned this in a video. It was really good. This movie called Transcendence. Really good movie. Well, it wasn't really good. It was good. It was good enough. Okay, like Johnny Depp's in it. Morgan Freeman's in it. I can't think of that British guy's name. Oh, I can't think of his name. I want to say Paul. Is it Paul Thomas? Not Paul Thomas. Maybe, I don't remember. I can't think of his name. I know his face, but it's driving me crazy. Anyway, but it's about this guy. It might be a spoiler alert. So if you're, you know, if you get like mad about spoilers and stuff, you should like, you know, turn the video off and watch the movie and then come back. But it's about this scientist who dies. Him and his wife are both scientists, and he dies. And they upload his consciousness onto the internet, and it's basically like Google. And it's interesting because in their minds, from their point of view, they're doing a good thing. But what they don't realize is that, like, when you control too much, you are imposing your will on other people that may not want that. And that's where the conspiracy, that's where the darkness and the evil comes in. Because in Google's mind, like this bitch executive that was talking, you know, I hope somebody confronts her and like yells at her in public and makes her cry. If I see her, I'm gonna yell at her in public and make her cry. But what you know, in her mind, she's like, oh yeah, you know, people, you know, we got screwed over with the election and we're gonna have to do something about that. And then she was like, with her fucking Scottish accent, I was like, bitch, you're not even an American. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, get the fuck out of our shit, you know? Like, I can sympathize with other countries, but I wouldn't go over there and fucking try and, like, go get in their business and tell them what to do. Like, fuck that bitch. Oh, she made me so mad. Anyway, but in her mind, she thinks she's doing a good thing because, you know, in her abysmally ignorant mind, she thinks she's doing a good thing because, you know, she's helping, you know, make things right? She's going to ensure that this is a democratic election win for the Democrats, because Republicans are just so evil. What a cunt. Dude, like, for real. I hope she gets fired. I hope she never works anywhere again, and I hope she becomes homeless. I don't give a shit. I know I'm not supposed to wish bad things on people, but I mean, that bitch is the devil. She's part of the devil. Fuck her. So, anyway. So, but I mean, that's the superiority complex, the supremacist attitude that these people have. You know, that they're gonna tell you what's right. And it's always been like that. Like, the Nazis were like that too. Maybe their ideology was based on race, but they still were very superior with technology and a lot of ideas. They were very progressive, you know, quote unquote. They were very, you know, they were socialists and leftists, and they're very progressive, you know, according to, you know, they weren't as interesting, they weren't conservative. But they're trying to make the conservatives out to be bad because they're the leftists, they're the Nazis. Again, another accurate Nazi comparison, because they are the real Nazis. Were socialists, people socialists, you know. They were technocrats, Nazis were technocrats. I mean, so many parallels, so many, right? What to do? So many parallels, but so many ignorant people not to like notice them. Interesting. But yeah, I think that's my rant for today. Seems like I wanted to say more, but while I'm waiting for ideas to pop, I think this video is gonna get long. So I'm just gonna leave it for today, y'all. Peace, love. Talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.